Hello, and welcome to this short video on report writing. There's a worksheet that accompanies this video, so before I begin, pause the slide and download it from the link below. So, what is report writing? An academic report is a structured document that presents information, analysis, and findings on a specific topic or research question. It typically is written in a formal style and follows a clear format, including sections such as an abstract, introduction, methodology, results, discussion, and conclusion. Academic reports are commonly used in educational and research settings to communicate the outcomes of investigations, experiments, or studies, and they emphasize evidence-based reasoning, critical analysis, and clarity of presentation. A basic research report consists of these 12 components. As this video is a business research report, then the abstract is often called an executive summary, and the recommendations are often in a separate section. You may want to pause this slide to look at this more carefully. So to begin, we'll just have a quick look at an extract from the task brief. It is to write a 1,500-word research report on the following: the importance of digital marketing for small and medium-sized businesses. It states what features to include that you will use secondary data and what is not necessary. Pause the slide if you would like to look at this in more detail. So, this video today will go through each section of a research report. It will explain what each section should include and then provide an example for analysis. So, let's start then with the abstract. An abstract usually includes the importance of the research from your viewpoint. It summarizes the research report in one paragraph. It needs to be written clearly and concisely. The audience should be able to understand the whole report from the abstract. It includes all the main sections of the report. Here is a sample abstract. Underneath the abstract is a table of 5 features. Please look carefully at the abstract as you will see small red numbers after each sentence. This indicates individual sentences. Identify then which sentence is one of the features in the table. Pause the slide and do the exercise. Here are the answers. Pause the slide and check. Now on to the introduction. An introduction can have many parts, but these are the most common. It should contain background information, past and present, purpose of the report, literature on the topic, research gap and how the report fills that gap, definitions of key terms, specific issues to be addressed, and research questions or hypotheses. Here is a sample introduction. The key features of an introduction. Using the same colors, see if you can highlight these features in the text for each sentence. Pause the slide and do the exercise. Here are the answers. Pause and check. Now, there is no literature part, but the literature on the topic could be seen as the sources used to support the ideas, like this. Okay, the next section is the method. The method should generally contain. It describes the overall approach and structure of the research. It explains why the chosen design is appropriate for addressing the research questions or hypothesis. It details how the participants were selected and the sample size. It lists tools, equipment, or software that was used. It describes how the research was conducted, including the data collection method and the duration of the study. It explains how the collected data was analyzed. Here is the sample method section. Here are the key features of a method section. Using the numbers of the individual sentences, see if you can identify these features in the paragraph. But be aware that these features are in more than one sentence. Pause and do the activity. Here are the answers. Pause and check. Next is the results section. This is where you present your findings. Generally, you should include: present the findings as they are without any bias or interpretation. Structure the findings in the same order as your research questions or objectives. Highlight the key results succinctly, ensuring they are relevant to the research objectives. If using a table or figures to illustrate your data, ensure they are labeled, titled, and referenced. Avoid redundant descriptions, only focus on the most relevant findings. Only describe what was found, do not explain why or what it means in this section. Here is part of the results section. I'd like you to highlight the data and what it's connected to, like this. Use these colors. Then, I'd also like you to identify the most significant points using this phrase, in short. So, pause the slide and have a go at this exercise. Here are the answers. Pause and check. Okay, now on to the most important part of a research report, the discussion. A discussion should be the longest part of the research report. It should interpret the study results in relation to the research questions and existing literature. It should explain the significance of the findings, highlight implications, and acknowledge limitations. It should compare the results with prior studies and highlight how they contribute to the field, as well as addressing any unexpected outcomes. Here is part of a discussion section. Using the sentence numbers, see if you can identify the key sentence functions. Again, use the same colors as the slide, as this will help with the answers. Pause and do the exercise. Here are the answers. Pause and check. Now on to the conclusion. A conclusion brings the report together. It should be a short section with no new information. It summarizes the key findings, things like benefits, barriers, limitations. It explains why the findings matter, and it offers an overall recommendation based on these findings. Here is a sample conclusion. Using the numbers of the sentences and the colors, identify the key features in the text. Please be aware that each sentence has two features. Pause and do the exercise. Okay, here are the answers. Pause and check. Okay, finally, the recommendations. This is usually a separate section for business research reports rather than a research report in general. A recommendation should include actionable suggestions based on the data and analysis, justifications for each recommendations, why it's important or what it addresses, feasible considerations, is it realistic, is it cost effective, is it timely, and different options or levels of action, for example, short term versus long term. Here is one of the recommendations from the report. Highlight the recommendation features using the colours. Be aware that one of these may not be in the text. Pause and do. Okay, here are the answers. Okay, and here is the reference list for your information on where the data was taken from. So, that's the end of the video today, and I hope it was helpful. You now have some knowledge on report writing. If you'd like the full report, then please go here. And you'd like the full lesson on the business research report writing, then go here. Like always, until next time, thank you for watching. Goodbye.